Hello everyone, Blue Star Saber here once again to review another chapter of One Piece, chapter 1023. Let's see, Spitting Image, in which, the chapter begins with, oops, damn it, the viz is getting a bit weird, I'm going to have to refresh it. Let's see, before that, I should probably mention how, let's see, here we go. Let's see, besides the regular cover, there seems to be a special free joint double page spread that Oda's done to do like the top 50 characters and a few other characters from my understand. Let's see, just to fit in, like particularly from what I can tell, we've got like the Big Mom's crew with Katakuri, Charlotte Lynn, Kaido, because I recall Kaido didn't really and that is in the one corner of Wano, because I recall Kaido didn't actually make the top 50. Oden, Yamato, Kiku, and Kumasaki. We see Sanji's sister Renji, Bartholomew Kuma, Perona, Philibok, Gecko Moy. There's Mihawk. Let's see, Doflamingo's brother, Pudding, Bartholomew Kuma, Law, Boa Hancock, Doflamingo, and it looks like he's fighting Sanji from what or maybe it's Luffy, but yeah. So yeah, we got quite the double pay. So yeah, so it seems like the Straw Hats are going to be in the center, and then the other top 50. I don't know. I can't remember all the top 50 characters, but I do remember Woodslap being among them, which is kind of funny to think about. But yeah. Anyway, let's see. From what I can see, the normal cover is just Vivi. Let's see, the opening cover for Vivi is her singing with sparrows while Karoo looks with jealousy and all that stuff, which is kind of funny. But anyway, on to the actual chapter. It continues off where Sora and Sanji have attacked King and Queen with Chopper commenting about they're actually back and commenting that the medicine did heal them, with like the beast pirates being shocked. However, let's see, as we can see, it's not. Let's see, while they've been knocked down, they're clearly not damaged. Anyway, the beast pirates try to attack Sora and Sanji. However, Kamatsu defends them, and let's see, Haguro tells like the other, Yakuza bosses and the other samurai not to interfere in their fight. Let's see, even though they're against the All-Stars, because the looks of their faces apparent them not to interrupt. So it's continuing to be just going to be a 2v2 match with Sora and Sanji versus King and Queen, with Zoro taking mainly down King and, Sanji going on to Queen. Anyway, Marco thinks back about what Whitebeard once said about a top of the red line of a race. About apparently there used to be a land of gods up there. So, like, talking about, I think, kings like a species, I think. Let's see, with Marco just seemingly dismissing what Whitebeard says. However, let's see, Izo ends up saving Marco, and some beast pirates were trying to shoot him when his guard was down, with him, scolding it. But Marco says, like, I got you to save me, which is like him just going back and forth. So that's kind of nice there. Let's see. With him asking Izo if he believes in gods. With him asking, when did you turn into like white pops when he was drunk? So, yeah. Anyway, King and Queen continue their fight. Let's see. With like Queen going about speech about how they're like drought, the plague, and wildfire, the three calamities that protect Kaido, saying that they have no chance against them. But yeah, let's see. So as they go on about how they're lead performers, Queen attacks with a few laser beams. Let's see. With Zoro ends up commenting to Sanji what's up with him as he's noticed something off, but apparently Sanji said ever since he put on the raid suit a second time, his body has changed a little, and he doesn't know why. Let's see, we're sort of just doing the same thing about better not drag me in time, and he says, like, why? Let's see, well, Sanji was like, I didn't say it felt any bad, just weird and all that stuff. Sorry, my mistake there. Anyway, we're a little okay, let's see, Sanji's eyebrows Let's see, with Sanji getting mad, so ends up blocking attack from King that was aiming directly at him, saying he owes him. With Queen firing one of his, like, trying to attack him with a claw, with Sanji ends up blocking that, saying now we're even. So it's like, I'm just liking this teamwork, saying, you owe me. No, now we're even, and all that stuff, but yeah. Anyway, Queen goes on about how he hears about all of Judge's children, sons are like cyborgs. Let's see. And he's wondering if that burning leg is a machine part of him. Well, Sanji says, sorry, man, pal. It's Queen that he's actually human since his mother did that drug thing. Let's see. Look, Queen says, like, he's remained skeptical, saying, how can a human burn like that? Is he like, let's see, a Luralian, which gets King's attention, implying that this is his species. Let's see. Now, Sanji says that the heat comes from his passion. Let's see, of his, like, let's see. That his passion suppresses the temperatures of his flame. This thing that says, like, burning passion, but yeah. Let's see. Anyway, he makes a comment about how he's good at cooking up a sea beast dinosaur, and starts using like his spinning wheel flame leg attack to attack Queen, which he blocks with Haki. Let's see. Willow Queen goes like, let me show you the power of a cyborg not even Vegapunk could create. Let's see, Zoro ends up attacking Queen by calling him mummy and not to get distracted. However, Queen's sword starts to change a bit. It looks like Queen's sword is changing a bit, or has that always been there? I don't know. But yeah, he grabs two of Zoro's swords and then goes for a fist punch to Zoro in the head. Let's see. Zoro just comments about how much of a killer machine he is. Now, King says, like, do you need a school or a style in order to fight? Well, that's saying that. It's showing that he doesn't have a lack of care of, like, traditional techniques in the field of battle. Now, Zoro does says he does have a good point and all that stuff. And that he didn't recall that King never called himself a swordsman. Though he tells him to do as he likes. Though he says, regardless, by the end of this, he might be the one tearing his throat out with his teeth. He might end up just tearing out his teeth if he doesn't have his swords. Though he was willing to do anything to ensure that he wins the fight and all that stuff, so their fight continues. However, let's see, Kawamatsu ends up asking boss Hoguro, let's see, about when apparently Lady Ho told, him that he was going to give the sword Emma, the one that can cut Kaido, to Zoro. Let's see. He ends up commenting about how there's a reason he could not bring himself to stop her. Let's see, with Hoguro understanding that the pirate from across the sea, was also part across the seas. Let's see, he's apparently the spitting image of Shimotsuki Ushimaru, Daimyo of Wingo in his youth, and we can see like that little transforming fox thing there, and his master, and we finally look that he does look very much like Zoro. So let's see, with apparently Kawamatsu says even his style with the sword is the same, which makes me wonder if that means he wields 3 swords. And goes on about how Uramashu was a descendant of Ryumu, the god of the blade, which Zoro, fun enough, fought in Thriller Bark. Let's see. And the fact that he also returned Sheishi to Wano. They cannot help it, it's the work of fate and all that stuff. Especially when Ryumu was also a one-eyed samurai. If I recall, Ryumu was also part of Oda's one-shot Monster, which apparently is actually canon to One Piece, so there we go. As we see Zoro continuing his fight with King. So, yeah, and the implications of what the connection between Zoro with Ryuma and Shikumatsu. Anyway, let's see, we got to another fight, which is the one remaining All-Star who is fighting, let's see, Dogstorm, I believe. Let's see, but yeah, on the second floor. Let's see. With some, I believe, they're spawning to the Beast Pirates saying to help Jack, while others are trying to prevent them from getting there. But anyway, we see Jack, and it seems to be in his hybrid form with, like, as we see his mammoth legs and mammoth head, the tusks. but his body is that of a human, and so is the arms, which allows him to wield swords. Is like a unique swords. With him just saying how the king of the day cannot go any longer. Oh, he says he doesn't hold a grudge against this country for going to ruin to hold on the life of the samurai. Let's see. No, Dogstorm says if we had handed over Raizo to die, they would be so ashamed with him. Like, let's see, Jack attacking with his like trunk. However, let's see, Dogstorm is able to grab it and send it flying. About how they never could come back to Wano. Let's see, and they go about how every single day since like Odin's death was another day closer to the moment of their reckoning and all that stuff. Thinking back to how they swore to like God that they do not know Raizo is here. Let's see about going back to the tortures and all that stuff about how he'd lied to keep Raizo safe. But anyway, let's see with Dogstorm comments about how after 20 years he's still a samurai of Lord Odin since he's dead. And it's revealed that due to the fact that there's a built hole in the ceiling. Let's see in the room that just entered. I'm not sure if that's the one Kaido made, although from the flashback it seems to imply that Ashura might have done that hole when he was bringing out like the fake Odin, and it caused that huge explosion. So the hole might have come from that. Just to be fair, I do believe that the hole did come from the lead performance floor. So it seems like even though Ashura has been taken out of the fight and maybe dead, and maybe even sacrificed himself, he's allowed Duke Storm to like see the moon as he goes into like his Sulong form and goes about how. Let's see. Now let's see with Dogstorm comments about how they let the Thousand City fall, all that stuff. Hold on a sec. I've got someone knocking on my door. Sorry for that. I got an Amazon package with some One Piece related merchandise and all that stuff. But anyway, let's see. Well, I was like, oh yeah. Let's see. But so yeah, and apparently he goes about how they would let the Thousand City fall due to make sure that this battle would take place and all that stuff. Let's see, by going about how only by winning this fight will the dawn come to the world, as we've been talking about the will of dawn in the last few arcs, particularly with the Sulot, with the Minks and all that stuff, and Zo. Anyway, the battle also changed to outside where we see Pespero in the Skull Dome and all that stuff, and we see Kat again after quite a while. Let's see as she sees Pespero being flown outside. Let's see, with Cat Viper going about how this raid would have ended in failure if not for like Pedro's sacrifice. As let's see, Carrot and I've forgotten the dog's name. Hold on, let me just type up Minks. Mink. Let's see. Oops, Mink Tribe. Let's see, there we go. I should really remember the names of some of these characters. Let's see. Wanda, yes, Wanda, sorry. As we see Kara and Wanda see Cat Viper. Let's see with Cat Viper talking about how there's a beautiful moon and asks if Pedro's watching with a drink. With Pespero seeing, let's see, Cat Viper so long. As Cat Viper tells him that this will be the last moon that Pespero ever seen, as we see his Sulong form. Anyway, we continue to another fight. Let's see, in the second floor with let's see, Fukuroshi. I'm trying to. I keep forgetting the names. One Piece. Why do I keep forgetting these names? Let's see. Let's see. Hold on. Just getting Raizo up. Let's see. Enemies. Fukurokuji. Let's see. Mocking him about, let's see, these ghosts, how the ghosts are holding a joke, being reduced to just following a child. With Raizo saying not to mock, let's see, Momonosuke. And talks about how they were misfits once before being raised into samurai. And saying it takes, let's see, as everyone grows up eventually and all that stuff. And they were watched, and let's see, one will watch over Lord Momonosuke's growth as they continue their fight. Well, speaking of Momonosuke's growth, that's part of the fight seems to be to lead to the next scene where we see Law's crew getting shocked for thinking they see Kaido as they all get their guns and swords ready. However, it is telling Straw Hat to look out as we see a giant, let's see, dragon. However, as we notice, if we pay attention, it's clearly not Kaido, even though it's clearly it looks like it's dragon. Let's see, but Luffy's able to tell that it's Momo, thinking back to their first encounter. Let's see, shocking like the Law's pirate crew, but then you get like Shinobu trying to explain that by Lord Momonosuke's request, he is now the age of 28. What he would have been had he never gone forward in time, with her crying. With Luffy asking why she's crying. Let's see, but Shinobu says, which I explain because, and we see a bit of a flashback of saying, "My lord, you look just like," when we don't really see, though I assume most people assume it's Oden. With Luffy now telling Momonosuke, saying that let's go take back Wano, and him saying right, and that's the end of the chapter. Okay, that explanation took longer than I had hoped to do. That summary took longer to do, but and again I had to get some sort of like package from Amazon. Sorry, but yeah. Anyway, I do like how you get Zoro and Sanji teaming up for this fight and all that stuff, and you end up seeing them helping each other out. Let's see. Even though they're mostly fighting their respective opponents in King and Queen, you have them also blocking attacks from like let's see that when King and Queen try to attack the other and all that stuff. So I do like that. I do also like how you've got let's see Karamatsu preventing opponents interfering their fight. And you have Boss Hoguro telling like the other Yakuza bosses and other samurai that no, this is their fight, it's 2-on-2. Let's see, even though they want to help out and stuff, but look at the determination of their faces. So yeah, this is a tag team fight. Let's see, which I actually quite like, but yeah. So and Sanji, I don't think don't always tag team. I think the most noticeable fight I think was in the Davy Black fights in the second round. When when you saw them not getting along, but as they had to, for the sake of their crew, they had to work together. So it's like this here. Who knows? I do like their banter with like so mocking Sanji's looks with the eyebrows. Let's see, when Sanji's commenting about how his body feels weird, which is interesting to think since putting on the raid suit, his body's felt different. So it looks like Sanji's getting some form of power up, though. Whether or not it's cyborg enchantment or somehow Sanji's connected to this Lurian race remains to be seen, but it's clear that it's getting people buzzing that. Let's see, so yeah, you get kind of like both Sora and Sanji. Let's see, you've often got a rivalry between them and their fan bases about who's the stronger one. No, I'd mostly probably say Zoro since he's part of the worst generation and often fights the second strongest of the series, but of like the enemy crew and all that stuff. But sometimes the exceptions come, particularly when like Law's involved, I believe. Let's see, but yeah, let's see, particularly in Punk Hazard and Dressrosa. But moving back to here, it seems like Sanji might have. Let's see, it seems like the raid suits might have. Let's see, activated some dormant form of cybernetics, or at least something that Judge had done to like Sanji and his like siblings. Let's see that they didn't quite. Let's see that even though Sanji's mother tried to prevent, seems like it still had some sort of effect on Sanji, but let's see, at the very least, even if Sanji does get some enchanted powers, I think the difference between him and all that stuff is that Sanji does have his humanity as he goes about how his passion keeps his flame protected, even though he might just be an enchanted cyborg, or maybe he's got some Lemurian DNA in him. I think all that stuff. It remains to be seen, but either way, it's clear that Sanji is getting some sort of power up that's going to allow him to take on Queen. So we got that. But speaking of like King, it seems that Queen mentioned Lurarian, and it seems to be the race that it seems to imply that this is the race that King is a part of, since there was a race in the top of the red line that could control fire and all that stuff, and from when King noticed, we listened, it seemed that's the species and all that stuff. So, it's likely that King's a Lurarian and all that stuff, though. We'll just have to wait until it's confirmed. But finding that, before I get to Zoro, I should probably comment, Izzo also ended up saving Marco from when he got his guard down. And you get a little fun banter between the two, which is, it's nice to see because, well, we don't really get to see much. We didn't really get to, due to the fact Marineford being a short walk, if you will. Like, I think it was like 30 chapters or 3 volumes at most, but yeah. Is that, let's see, you didn't get to see too much of the interactions between the Whitebeard pirates and all that stuff, except for like the ones that receive flashbacks with Ace and all that stuff, and just a few quick chip-ins on the battlefield. But we kind of get like this fun banter with Izzo telling Marco not to let his guard down and all that stuff, and he says like, I have you to protect me and all that stuff. He's like telling him not to push his luck. And you get, Marco with this fight thinking about what Whitebeard said about like the land of gods and like this tribe all those years ago, and it seems like he's dismissing it. But now, granted, now seeing Zoro and Sanji fighting King and Queen, he's beginning to start to believe that Whitebeard might have a point, which apparently he usually went on about when he was drunk. But yeah, so yeah. Granted, I hope I never get drunk. Granted, I never intend to get drunk myself, but yeah. I don't know what I'm going to spit, but yeah. But anyway, going to Zoro and King's fight, we end up seeing that, Zoro ends up using his swords. We end up seeing that King uses his swords, which like has some chipped blades into it. I'm not sure if that's always been there in the sword, or if the sword can modify itself, though that, from what I can tell, I think it might have always been there, but then again, I haven't really paid much attention to King's swords. However, he uses it to pull away 2 of Zoro's swords, except for the one in his mouth, and then punches him. And what we think was going to be like a fight between swordsmen, it's revealed that, King isn't really much of a swordsman, and he doesn't really care. King ends up stating is that school or styles don't really matter on the battlefield. All that stuff, not all in order to win a fight, which, to be fair, both King does have a point, and Zoro even seems to agree with him that he did recall King never really said he was a swordsman, so it's like, this is like a bit interesting bit of character to King, as, well, we haven't really gotten much of King's character. He's the least developed of the, all-stars of like the Beast Pirates, but it seems like with this fight with Zoro, we're finally getting a bit more of his personality. And one of the things we've learned about him is that he'll use any method in order to win a fight. It doesn't really matter. Styles and techniques or school styles and all that stuff don't really matter. Do anything to win a fight, which Zoro does make as a good point. But Zoro also points out that he could do the same as well, as he might end up tearing a throat with his teeth, as he'll do anything to win himself, though he's clearly trying to at least use his swords. And doing this, as Zoro and King are fighting, you got Karamatsu and Haguro commenting about, Zoro, that despite being an outsider, he did bring back Seishu, and even was given, let's see, when Hero gave like the splayed emma to him, he couldn't really protest because Zoro, because they both noticed that Zoro looks very much like the deceased Shikamatsu Urimashira, the daimyo of Ringo, the one that had that transforming fox, like I said earlier. And it's of the fact that apparently, and it's also revealed that he's a descendant of Ramu, and also that Ramu also had a one eye, and the fact that all three of them apparently, that those two all seem to have in their lifetime a striking appearance with Zoro. So it's implied that Zoro might possibly be a descendant of the Shishimotosuke family. If that ends up being the case, which is interesting because I believe his childhood friend Kunai and his sensei are actually descendants of this family. But it's also possible that Zoro is also somehow related to them. So who knows? It might be weird to think. It's strange to probably think that Zoro and Kunai might actually be cousins in some way, or somehow distant cousins in some way. Relatives, because I'm pretty certain some people, who knows, might have shipped Zoro Kunai, but then again, that'd be a bit weird since she's now she died as a child and all that stuff. But who knows? Though granted, I think most people tend to ship Zoro with Kunai, though. I mean, let's see. Let's see. Wait, I mean, sorry. Let's see. I'm trying to remember Smoker. Let me just get Smoker. Let's see. I think it's Tsuyu. Let's see. Tatsuki. Hold on. Let me just. Tashigi. Yeah. Though granted, I think with the Wano arc, I think there's probably been quite a few Zoro and Hiro shippers, so there's that. So who knows? But yeah, if it seems like Zoro might have more connections to Wano than led to believe it's some sort of descendant. So yeah, I do like that. Granted, I think some people, I'm not sure how some are hoping that, let's see, people like Zoro, Sanji, or some of the Straw Hats, like, are just regular people and rather not from these special bloodlines or descendant from these sort of places. Granted, that has been less the case, but then again, One Piece has never really been about, never really, made it so that, One Piece has never really made it like, saying that, like the sort of like underdog theme, like, oh, they're just all people, regular people becoming all that stuff because, well, unlike, I suppose, like Naruto, since, well, let's see, when Naruto ended up being like a reincarnation thing, but yeah. But still, it's interesting to see that, all those theories are so being connected to Rano some way might be true, and he might even be a descendant of Rama, so that'll be interesting. So Sora probably might have thought it's like great-great-grandfather, if you will. Now, granted, I have no idea how long of the timeline he is, but anyway. Now we're going to the next bit. I do like that we finally got Jack's hybrid form, so I assume that, well, let's see, we've seen Queens, now we've seen Jack's, all that remains is King, unless he's in his hybrid form, but I don't think so. So we'll probably get some, hybrid form with King at some point during the fight, but yeah, against Sora, but yeah, I do like the design a bit. It's a little goofy, but at the same time, it's still a bit intimidating, I guess. But but yeah, I do find it interesting that Jack holds no grudge about the Liar to Raizo thing. But Dogstorm says that it'd have been a shame that if we exposed Raizo, they'd never be able to come back to Rhino. And even though the 1,000 City was being destroyed, but everything they've done in order to ensure that this battle is a decisive victory for Wano, and could carry out Oden's will, they're willing to do it and all that stuff. And I do like how we get some of him throwing his trunk like we did in the first time we saw them fight, and when they changed to a different area. And I do like the fact that it seems that Ashura Doji, when sacrificing himself for that explosion from the fake Oden, has given, Dogstorm the chance to go to Sulong form to apparently, let's see, to like turn the tide of the battle in his favor and all that stuff. Since, as we've seen, Jack had quite the struggle against this, which he ended up being beaten by both, Dogstorm and Cat Viper when they went so long form. Though, before fighting Ado and all that stuff. Granted, Jack might have a better chance against a Dogstorm with just one so long form, but I'm pretty certain he's going to win the fight in the end. So there's that. Anyway, we end up seeing Pespero outside of the Skull Dome, and Carrot and Wanda are back, and we see that Cat Viper is commenting how for this decisive battle to be a victory, they needed Luffy to be here, and Pedo sacrificed himself to make sure that happens, so he's now going to avenge his death, ask him just to drink a moon in the heavens while, he makes sure that Pespero will see his last moon tonight as he goes into Sulong form. But granted, with Carrot and Wanda there, I am hoping that they will play a part in this fight a bit, just to so that they get a bit of the role. I know some people have given up on Carrot becoming a Straw Hat in favor of Yamato, but at the very least, I'd like to see Carrot also play a part in avenging Pespero, but we'll have to see. And, as for the, Raizo versus Fukurochi fight, there's really not much to do. It's just like just general panels of just them using scrolls and, shurikens, but it's more of just a bit of commentary about about Momonosuke, about him leaving the fate of Wano to a child, though Raizo commenting about how he will grow and all that stuff, though. Raizo does not seem to quite get just how much Momo has grown, as we end up seeing that awesome double-page spread of Momonosuke's dragon form, and he looked quite like Kaido, but there's a few differences, and he looks a bit lighter and all that stuff. I quite like it, the dragon form that he's got and all that stuff. I do like how Luffy's able to tell that it's Momo when he's recalling the kid first time they met. And as we end up seeing from Shinobu, and I do like how Shinobu explains that he's gone up to the age of 28. So in many ways, it's like he's never gone forward in time and all that stuff. Though granted, he still has the mentality of an 8-year-old, but I guess it goes to show the Momonosuke willing to sacrifice 20 years of his life that he could have had in order to help this battle be decisive and all that stuff. And he's now a full-grown man, but though he is the body of a kid, so he'll have to mature pretty fast, though. Who knows if the aging fruit has also helped in the maturity a bit, though I'm not sure. But from the way Shinobu's implying, I do like that fact that it seems like Momo might actually look like Odin, though I think some have made jokes about he might look like Kimo, but I think it's more likely going to be Odin as the two take to the battle. So, yeah, now that Momonosuke is in dragon form, I am one as a grown adult. I wonder if his abilities and strength has also increased. I mean, we don't know just how much the aging thing has affected Momo's physical strength and all that stuff. So now I think people are 50. So who knows? We might get that Luffy and Momo possibly with Yamato fight after all. Now, whether or not we'll have anyone else joining the fight, I do not know. But yeah, we probably get some. Let's see. I think now people are hoping for Dragon v Dragon fight, which is going to be cool. But yeah. Overall, this has been a very good chapter, and I've enjoyed it pretty much. And I do like the tag teaming of Sanji, the implications of their power, Sanji's power up with this cyborg stuff, or maybe even the Lorian race, and the connections of Zoro with Romu and the previous Daimyo of Ringo. The Sulong forms with Jack. Dogstorm against Jack and Cat Viper against Pespero. As it's shown, they're getting serious. So I assume that their fights will probably at least be one chapter before ending. And then you've got Fukurochi continuing. Rise against Fukurochi. Against his counterpart. Granted, that was more of just commentary, but yeah. But I definitely I really like the double-page spread of Momo, dragon form as Luffy and him are going off to the fight. overall, I give this chapter a 9.5, maybe even a 10. Though, let's see. So, and it hypes up the next chapter, which I'm looking forward to. Let's see. Anyway, I'm Blue Star Saber, signing off. Thank you for joining me, and goodbye.